keeping up with him as best he could. Right, we are into game, what looks like number 2. It's going to be Shudderwock Mirror. Something always goes wrong when we cast Shudderwock Mirrors, Derek.
It's like the Twilight Zone of Hearthstone. It's just a weird matchup. You're obviously trying to turbo your Shudderwock activation as quick as possible. Is one of the main the main facet of this matchup. But there's also some other stuff going on in that you're trying to. You're also trying to give yourself as reliable a Shudderwock as possible. You don't just want to play Shudderwock when you've only played 1 Chain Gang and 1 Grumble, if possible, because half the time then it just doesn't bounce back to your hand. It's a very finicky matchup.
Yeah, that forces you to try and draw more cards to ensure that stability. And sometimes, which doesn't look like it's going to happen here, you get the sort of Keleseth Zola start where it's just like, I'm just going to try and kill you because my deck suddenly became full of actual Hearthstone minions.
And that style of play generally loses to the version that if the other side gets a full Shudderwock combo nice and early, it doesn't matter how much you're tempoing out your minions, you'll generally lose anyway.
It does tend to interfere with the other side, the idea being not that you're going to kill them with this wide board, but you're going to make them overload and stop them playing their Mana Tide totems and just force them into not drawing the cards, so there's less chance of drawing the combo. But as you say, if you do draw the combo, we've seen it time and again, it doesn't really matter what's on the other side of the board because everything just gets frozen and stolen and eliminated.
And while in the later game, there's all kinds of little fancy plays that you need to be worrying about, like you know, saving your Zola for Grumble so you can do it in the same turn, not playing your Hagatha to worry about hand size issues. That all comes later. Generally, in the early turns, you just want to draw cards. You just always want to draw as many cards as you can in the early turns to get, like you said, that combo going as quick as you can.
And if you get 2 cards off your Mana Tide, which it looks like Tyler's going to manage here, then you're in a great spot. And Yala, you really don't want to coin hex this.
That's what I was thinking. He could coin hex here. Which,
the lack of plays is kind of terrifying.
Like, if Tyler's follow-up on the next turn is Chain Gang, then coin hex here is actually the only way to stop him from getting more than 1 card draw here. And Yala realizes drawing cards is so crucial in this matchup. He's going to coin and hex on a minion that has literally 0 attack.
That's absolutely crazy. And then you do that and Tyler picks up the Shudderwock next turn anyway to put yourself in a great position.
And that is exactly what I mean. This is the Twilight Zone of Hearthstone. The usual laws of physics just stop applying in this matchup because it is just so backwards. It's not about tempo and aggroing out your opponent and all the rules that you learn in Hearthstone. It's just about getting that combo going, not filling up your hand too much with useless cards, and trying to Shudderwock your opponent out of the game.
That's nuts. It's absolutely silly. And Yala, as always, deep in thought right from the start. But that is why he does this, because he goes... Most people fleetingly look at coin hex and go, nah, that's a bit silly. And Yala just goes, actually, I'm going to take this suggestion seriously.
And like I said, it's because the follow-up... Like, he could have gone for just an Ooze on that play to... or a Mind Control tech on that turn to try and contest the Mana Tide totem. But Chain Gang stops that completely. He had to hex there, or Chain Gang would have been so devastating for him.
So yeah, matching the 9-mana Shudderwock with a 6-mana Shudderwock for Yala. And he's actually in front again in the race now. He's picked that up.
Yes. What it means now, I think, is that a lot of the time in this matchup, you go Zola and then Grumble on the same turn, so that you have a 1-mana Zola in your hand, so that even if your Shudderwock doesn't bounce back a 1-mana Shudderwock to your hand, you go 9-mana Shudderwock, 1-mana Zola, and you get another go. You can kind of try again with the Shudderwock to get the Grumble to activate after the Chain Gangs and get a 1-mana Shudderwock back to your hand. But now that Yala has a 6-mana Shudderwock, he can just do that. He can just go Shudderwock, even if it whiffs later on in the game, still go for a Zola to bounce another one back to his hand. Very strong indeed.
Meanwhile, they're just playing out their piece. This sort of minion battle, again, keeps using the phrase, just defies the regular laws. This is just played out there because the quicker you play out your things that win you the game, the quicker you win the game. Strange how that works. And here we see this thing that happens that doesn't usually get anywhere because of all the removal in the deck.
Yeah, the Hagatha reduction is not that important for Tyler, I don't think, because you don't really want to play Hagatha in this matchup if you can at all avoid it. That is, however, unless your Shudderwock fails and you're out of Shudderwocks, then you obviously need as much value as possible. But because Hagatha fills your hand with spells that you don't need to win the game, having free hand space to get Shudderwocks back to hand is generally deemed more important.
Yeah, and I think every time we've suggested, hey, look, the Hagatha looks good now, it never is. I mean, sometimes you have to. If you're under enough pressure, you might have to do it. Yeah. But, yeah, you don't want to ever be doing it.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it generally used to be played a lot more when Murmuring Elemental was played, because then if your opponent played a big board of Shudderwogs, you'd go Murmuring Hagatha and deal 6 damage to everything to get the board back in your favor. But now in this matchup, 3 damage is less impactful, but maybe we see, because it's 5 mana now, Hagatha into Lightning Storm, all on the same turn to deal with a bunch of Shudderwogs. It's possible.
Yeah, these reduced cost cards are quite important. I mean, obviously they are, but the layout of them is going to cause surprises. Yeah. Like, Tyler won't be, obviously it'd be in his mind it's possible, but you can't assume your opponent is Shudderwock with their Farsight. That would just be silly.
Jarla decides to roll the Totem here, which he was clearly hesitant to do. Obviously, if he got Healing Totem, that's the worst case scenario because it's very difficult to then kill that off. Manatide Totem, I'd say, is second worst. And also it's difficult to make it die.
He's a little bit behind on board, so he doesn't want his totems there because... Yeah, he's the one who might have to actually do a board clear at some point, so having more health out there just ruins your own Volcano.
Yeah, exactly. But if he had got a taunt or a 1-1, then it would have been pretty good. It's close.
And this is weird because Tyler's not exerting enough pressure for Jarla to care, but if you don't do anything about this, then the next minion he plays, you might care.
Yeah.
Except you've got MC Tech.
That's true. Like, the Lightning Storm there for Tyler, obviously, if he'd gotten a little bit more fortunate and just one of the chain gangs had 3 damage on it rather than 2, he would have been able to push a little bit more damage to face, and obviously his Electra would be at 3 health rather than 2. But it did feel like a very frivolous use of Lightning Storm.
I think that was the point. I think he's just dumping the cards out of his hand before the overload matches. Next turn's turn 8. What do you do on turn 8? Not a lot. Yeah. So just get that card out of your hand while you still can. Gives you a chance to Hagatha if you want to later as an option then.
I wonder if, like, I agree that if you deem Lightning Storm to be a completely useless card, just play it. Get it out your hand. I'm not sure if it is a completely useless card though.
Okay. Well, we will get to find out because these decks do go pretty deep, so we will get to a point later on where we go like, oh, he needs a Lightning Storm, or that won't happen, and then we'll know it was right to dump. Oh! The best card in the mirror.
Yeah, that is so important for Tyler to be picking up. This is the matchup that you want your Hemet for.
That's the only reason you bring a Hemet these days.
Pretty much.
Maybe against Druid as well, but you're really bringing it for this mirror.
There it is.
And now you trade off to avoid the MC Tech, and Tyler isn't just going to insta-win here, although he's in a fantastic position because he hasn't played much of use yet.
Yeah.
And remember, the Jarla does have this 6-mana Shudderwock, so it can just turn around if Jarla picks up a Grumble in a hurry.
Yeah, no
He's played all of his stuff.
No chain gang for Tyler either. I believe it's just a life drinker in terms of valuable battle cries, I believe.
Yeah.
Obviously, mind control deck could be important.
Yeah, significantly less. It's going to buff something by 1.
Oh, yeah.
Hooray. Yeah, you said the word relevant. And,
yeah. It's something.
They are the only relevant ones left. And that's what Hemet does. It just reduces the deck to that good stuff.
And Jarla, his mouse is hovering dangerously closely to Hagatha here because, I mean, it's not awful. It clears off a little bit of stuff, and you are afraid of just dying to what's on the board here, but I don't know. I feel like you just don't need to go for it yet. It's not that dire. If you get Grumble, it could just be game over already in your favor.
Yeah, because he has played basically all of the good stuff. He's played the Life Trigger, he's played the Chain Gang, as well as his own mind control tech and stuff, so he is in a decent spot.
Yeah.
If, and it's a big if, the Grumble occurs.
Wow.
He's getting excited. I like when Doug gets excited. That means the game's about to get exciting.
It's just so interesting because I absolutely defer to Jarla as being a stronger Shudderwock player than I am. And, I can totally see the reasoning here for playing the for playing the Hagatha, because your opponent is going to have a bunch of minions hitting the board now. It's very scary, the amount of damage you're going to be taking. So generating some extra spells is perfectly good.
Yeah, the rules go out the window a little bit in terms of, oh no, my hand size. Well, oh no, I'm dead is a much more important rule to worry about. And you might not even win with combo versus combo. You might win by going super wide and Tyler running out of cards.
I wonder now as well if Yala didn't play the Volcano last turn, even though it cleared off more damage, because he wants to go Shudderwock Zola on this turn, because his Shudderwock would make another Shudderwock.
Yep.
It would
freeze some bits,
freeze something,
some things in the way, maybe get lucky as well. Yeah.
Like it does something. He can play another one next turn.
Yeah, just challenge on board and then still have another one. Oh. That's what it looks like he's going to do.
And also, it obviously has the 3 damage Hagatha Battle Cry as well.
Yeah.
And as long as you guarantee yourself a Shudderwock going back to your hand, which obviously he can with the Zola in his hand, I think this is really good. This is a really nice setup from Yala to get a 1-2 punch with the Hagatha.
Yeah, Tyler's a little bit confused at this point, but you will see in a minute why this is going to happen. Yeah, this is fine.
Because now his Shudderwock in hand also has the Hagatha Battle Cry, oh sorry, the Zola Battle Cry in it. So maybe just one Shudderwock a turn could somehow lead him to victory. It seems very unlikely.
But it seems more unlikely if he didn't do it. That's the point, right?
Yes. Very cool play here.
Yeah, now Tyler has to really consider what on earth is going on. Because he doesn't really know if this play was speculative or if there's a backup plan.
Yeah.
Like, there might be a Grumble in hand. It's possible. It's probably not going to be, but if there is and you let this resolve, you are dead, basically.
So Tyler could just attack face and play the Hagatha there if he wanted to. Clearly, though, he is going with the more standard school of thought in Shudderwock, where you want to not play Hagatha if at all possible. Also, leaving other minions on the board is really good. That frog
it might get
Yala's biggest nightmare.
It might get Earthshocked
it
here
very
by
possibly
Yala.
Did, because if you leave it up, Shudderwock, the Zola effect that is stored within Shudderwock, could copy a frog back to hand, which, I don't know if you knew this, is a lot worse than Shudderwock. Fun fact.
Yeah. I saw Purple try to kill someone with a frog the other day.
Is this within Hearthstone or just out in the street?
I mean, both those two things are entirely possible. And he got to the turn where he was about to draw the frog and the game crashed because his computer's a potato. And he never got to do it.
That's pretty funny.
Look at me.
We could, however, see Yala turning this frog into something significantly more powerful through the use of the Stormbringer on this turn. Oh!
Shooty Tower, man.
Volcano on the Black Hell Gunspire is pretty sick.
Oh my goodness. That's disgusting.
Probably won't survive. It will probably get hexed because Tyler will realize.
Have you ever seen anyone have to kill a Gunspire before, though?
Nope.
Ever. And if Tyler does overlook it, and it's possible when you just sat there and this random card you have to think about.
Yep.
Oh my. If he misses this, he just eats the end of the game.
Well, how much damage would that actually do?
It does 24, but 24 it's random. Damage. It's spread out to minions as well. But the Volcano will be clearing other minions as it goes as well.
Right. Oh, man, that is so confusing. I think both players are having to read what this card actually does.
How can a card that can't attack possibly be the focal point of the entire game? Tyler's like, I don't have to hex that. His eyes, it's just, I don't have to hex this thing, do I?
I mean, hexing it's really bad.
There's an 8/8 next to it.
Yeah.
He really doesn't want to do this.
My glory. How long?
Yeah, he's postponing the decision. No. Oh, and this is just...
I'm weak once more.
This is lethal.
That's just
lethal. He plays the 8/8s and just plays the Volcano. If we've got this right, that's 24 damage.
He's counting it up.
He's just making sure that this does. He's reading the card. Yeah, he goes for what we're thinking is right as well. He's going to Volcano his opponent for 24 face.
Tyler just gave Yala, if you have Volcano, you win the game.
And Yala can't believe it works. He's just reading it time and time again because he doesn't think Tyler would make this mistake.
Yeah, of course he can't believe it. It's insane.
Random enemy. Yeah, not random enemy minion. Just double check it, triple check it, and boom, you're dead, Tyler. 2-0. And no one's ever seen this happen, surely. This is like something disguised toast wouldn't
And
do.
look at Tyler. He knows that was a big mistake there. It wasn't like his opponent had to have some other randomly generated card. It had to be one card, of which he has 2 in his deck. Tyler just gave Yala the win.
I have cast Yala many times this year, and I think this is the most his face has ever cracked during a game. That was insane.
He is a very serious man, but even that has to crack him. That was just the most ridiculous game of Hearthstone I think I've ever seen.
So going back to turn 1, when we saw his Shudderwock versus Shudderwock, we did say that whenever we cast Shudderwock mirrors, something ridiculous always happens, and that is ridiculous.